Yeah. Bird down, baby. My first turkey ever. Oh, I'm shaking. Thank you, Lord. Smoked him. Yes. Thank you, Lord. Oh, yes. Oh. I'm stoked. I was sitting right here. Made myself a little hasty blind. There's so many birds over here still. It's pretty good. It's the biggest one I've ever got. It's the only one I've ever got. Look at the spurs on that bird. Good Lord, those are huge. Look at them. Out here on this beautiful morning, there's a bunch of birds out here. There's probably still 8 or 10 gobblers right through the head over there. But I'm gonna pack up my stuff and see if I can get my uncle and my dad over here. See if they can get them a bird. There's a bunch more over here. Alright, we'll see in a little bit. Alright, we're heading to pick up the bird. So you find this spot at the bottom of his chest, at the point of it. Just make a little incision right there. Just reach up there and grab all everything you want. And then when you go home, Clint, just take it and you can just peel the skin right off the rest. Alright guys, good morning. Got Rylan with me. We're heading over to my buddy Justin's taxidermy. We're going to be taking a turkey to him that I just shot yesterday. And we're going to show Rylan what a taxidermy office looks like. It's just his showroom, so it's not where he actually does all the work, but it's a pretty cool little showroom he's got. And he's going to be going over how to dress out a turkey that you want to do a full mount on, so that you can still harvest the meat but not ruin the skin and the feathers and everything for a mount. So alright guys, we made it over to Justin's taxidermy. We're gonna check him out. Rylan's hungry again, but alright, let's see what we got. Justin!
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man?
What's up? Good to see you.
We're ready to mount some turkeys.
Heck yeah, let's do
So
it.
this is his shop, his little showroom. He's got all kinds of stuff mounted in here. How big is that hog?
He weighed 340, but he was
Yeah.
barred. Someone had cut him, so he was just a big old butterball.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. You got some gators in here. This is so cool. Alright, so we're gonna go out and get the turkey. Well, the ice is still.
Oh,
It's been 7 days. No, I'm
really?
just kidding.
Yeah,
No, I just got that yesterday. There's a big bird. We're gonna
Wow. That's a giant
drain
one.
him a little.
How? So like, if I mean, if you just grab him by his legs and just shake
It's just,
him.
did I ruin him?
No, he's
Okay.
fine.
I'm like, God.
Yeah. No, it's just what they look like when they're wet.
All that bad, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just don't scrape them off the like this aggressive bed line, or like if you see somebody like you can set them on it, but people that like they'll scrape them, they'll drag them by their head, and I'm like it's like tearing up all the feathers.
It feels so awkward and so bad doing this.
Yeah, right. I know.
Probably the only rip off of them.
Yeah, right. Only person in Palm Bay doing this right now.
Hey, you always shake your turkey before you bring it in the house. So we're gonna do the official measurement real quick on the spurs.
Should be the outside. Gosh, that is right at 1.5 inches,
Yeah,
just a
inch and a
shade. If I had a seamstress tape measure that would bend with it,
yeah,
right at 1.5. Definitely over 1.25 inches. And then you gotta do this one.
oh. Yeah, that one's just over.
Yeah, that one's just over 1.5 inches.
Those are good.
Yeah, those are good.
They're sharp too.
Heck
Yeah.
So what do you say? How old do you think this bird is?
Gosh, I don't know. I'm terrible at that stuff, but he's got to have some age to have spurs and a nice beard like that. He's got to be at least 4 years old.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
what I was
say.
thinking.
Like I don't think, even if he's a genetic freak, I don't think he could be younger than that. But let's see what his beard measures.
All right. They go to the longest strand, so
Yep, right where it starts, the longest one.
right at 11 1/4.
I think, yeah, that'll make the turkey registry. 2
Yeah.
spurs over 1.25 inches, and then a beard over 11 inches.
Yeah, so Justin's got something
Yeah,
truly epic here.
I actually have one hand, so I got to put on this arm brace to skin stuff with. I can't hold a knife with this hand, so I just gotta swap this out real quick.
Most people, they can't even do this if they had 4 hands, and he's got this incredible little gadget he made here.
Yeah, it's just a elbow brace with a piece of aluminum I bolted to it, and some old tree stand harness straps, and
If you had kids, you could grab them by the ear and literally,
oh yeah,
they do whatever you ask
oh,
them
it
to
would
do.
freak them out, yeah, for sure. And then I just have my little Avalon knife.
Those
I like
things
to
are
use.
awesome.
Yeah,
They're
And
so
I just,
easy.
I just push it in here like this to use it.
Oh, it's like locked in there.
Yeah, and then it's just like having 2 hands.
That's epic.
But when you want to breast out a bird to save the meat, but you also want to get it mounted, a lot of people are afraid to cut into their birds. But you can actually breast your bird out, take the meat out of it, and still take it to someone to get it mounted. So what I like to do is just pull the wings out a little bit. This one's not too stiff. Sometimes if they're frozen and stiff, the wings will be hugging the body real tight. So just make sure the wings are laid out. Lay him on his back, and then this breastbone has a natural part in the feathers, and you can see it's kind of bald there.
Yeah.
And there's about a natural 1 inch of space all the way down to his butt. That if you sat here and sorted out these feathers,
wow.
there's a natural part there, and as long as you stay in that part, you won't cut any feathers, you won't hurt anything.
Well, that's cool.
So you pretty much just go dead center of the beard to this breastbone, all the
Okay.
way to the butt. So we'll cut from here to the butt basically.
So you're gonna glue that back together?
Yeah, I actually wind up sewing it with thread.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna
You see that?
easily open this up, try not to cut any feathers. Let's see if you can, I don't know if you can see that.
Watch that gator, don't let him bite you in the butt.
So, and this bird's already gutted, but normally we would come all the way down to his butt right here.
Okay.
Just following that natural part.
Gotcha. Oh,
And
that's super easy then.
I'll come up. You can see these feathers. You're able to spread them apart,
Oh, yeah.
and you just take a minute. And it actually helps if they're a little wet.
Oh, they mat together a little
yeah,
bit.
sometimes I'll take a wet rag or a spray bottle and actually dampen the feathers and get them to stay parted. Our cut, I'm just gonna skin down. Just pick it anywhere, usually at the top to keep it tight and cut this, membrane. I'm just gonna go down a couple inches all the way around our incision, and then we can actually use our hand to peel the rest. So just go down 2 or 3 inches to just get it started.
That's awesome.
And if they're fresh, this is actually easier. If they're warm, if they're colder, especially if they're a little frozen, I'll do the other side.
Okay.
If they're cold, this is actually a little tougher. But when they're warm and fresh, it's real easy to peel the skin off of them.
How many animals do you think you've mounted?
Ooh, gosh, a couple thousand at least.
Jeez.
It's I hate to say it. Gosh, it's been, oh man, 17 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Golly.
So it's a couple. You know, doing a couple every year.
How did you choose to get into this?
A friend of my dad's worked for a taxidermist in town. And
Okay.
He'd stayed friends with the guy, and he needed help. And I was in high school, just about to graduate and get into college. I needed a job, and he needed help. So then I started working for him right out of high school. So I did that for 5.5 years, and then started doing it on my own.
Well, you're doing good. Cool. So it's all exposed.
Yeah. So now we got it exposed, and we'll actually use our hand to just kind of peel this back. You know, you can just see.
So you don't have to be super gentle.
No, you can be fairly rough. I'm trying not to crush these feathers.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to move the whole body around, especially if you're on like an aggressive truck bed or anything.
Yeah.
You don't want to tear up the
Put
feathers.
a towel down.
But yeah, a towel, a garbage bag, something smooth, and all
Okay.
that. But yeah, we'll just continue to use our hand and just kind of press it down in there.
Oh wow! So it opens it all up.
Yeah. And a lot of people miss a lot of their breast meat up here. They'll just get this chunk here, but it goes up pretty far. So I'll have to cut just a little bit. This kind of gooey area doesn't want to pull really well. But there's no meat in there, but your meat's up here.
Just to give you some wiggle room.
Yeah, so.
Oh, that's what you're saying about the drumsticks too.
Yeah, so your drumsticks are right there. But, so that's your breast right there. And this bone, it's a flat bone that goes straight up, and then his body is kind of like a little circular there. So we're just going to follow this bone down to the body and then follow it around with the blade of the knife to get the meat off. So we'll start on this side, and we'll just stay tight up to that bone, and kind of pulling it away with my fingers while I'm cutting it.
What do you think, Rylan?
Good.
Yeah, you like this kind of stuff?
And so now we've kind of hit the body, so it's going to turn.
Okay.
And so we'll just kind of go
right
with it.
around there.
Yeah, your meat starts out kind of skinny, and it gets bigger the further down in you go. So just following that.
Did you take any taxidermy classes, or was it all on in-person training?
It was all in-person training.
That's
and then
awesome.
just experimenting. And nowadays YouTube's come along so far. There's a lot of cool videos to watch. I still watch videos.
Oh, really?
Sometimes I, still get an idea, and I'll watch a video and be like, man, I never did it. Never thought of doing it that way. So.
What do you think the hardest animal is to taxiderm or to stuff, whatever you call it?
Gosh. I would say probably a turkey, because the feathers are so easy to mess them up.
Really?
You can rough them up. The turkey will rough them up.
Gotcha.
You can, if you get glue on them, you're screwed. There's no way to get them back when they got glue on them.
Uh-oh.
So you got to be a lot more careful with them. But then that's
a big old chunk of meat there.
That's half the breast right there.
That's awesome.
All right, that's it.
Meat in the bag.
That's it.
So we're gonna do this other side the same exact way. What's next after that? That it?
That's about it. You can get your drumsticks in your thighs if you wanted to. You can kind of access them right here.
Okay. And then you said there's like a joint in there. You just gently cut around.
Yeah.
And you can pop them out. That's
Yeah.
cool. Awesome. After that, you just flesh out the whole hide and dry it.
Yeah, eventually I'll skin out the whole rest of the bird, and
Okay.
then there's a bunch of meat and fat on the inside. You got to flesh, and then you got to wash all the feathers, and then poof them back up, especially because they'll look all wet and drowned out like this one. But it'll poof up. It'll look good.
That's awesome. So yeah, in a few days you'll be done. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's one thing, you got to be patient, because he's got a lot of work. All these freezers are full of gators and hogs.
Oh yeah, full of all kinds of dead stuff.
Yeah, so
Hey, Dad.
whenever you get something, you got to be patient. And what does it normally take, like 5-6 months?
Yeah, I usually tell people 4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months, okay. But it's worth it. I've got a few animals on the wall now, and it's definitely worth the memory. You get to show your kids, and what's that?
This is a red box.
It is.
This is a great box.
Yep, that's awesome. All right, man. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Anytime.
There's the old bird. So in a few months, we'll be back. We're gonna head home. We got a birthday party to go to for Ryland's friend, right? And we'll be back.